Undertow was showing up for no reason. I was like, we didn't ask for you. We didn't ask for you here. What are you doing?
Yeah, no, I saw that. I was very confused by it, but I guess they surely fixed it with the hot fix patch that flew out today. But none of that really matters today here, folks, as we're kicking off the second match of the second round here. You know, this is the first SOS I'm watching, or first matches I'm watching anyways of the new patch. So I'm very excited and eager to see exactly how things have been shaken up here. And I do see nothing too major in terms of weapon choices that would have been compared to the last patch.
Very much so here, but things are definitely kicking off. I'm hoping to see some auras going off here in a little bit, but already very chaotic opening here in center. Pollo does get that tower first here and does have that player advantage, giving them that chance to get some more points on the board. Goji is there on the tower trying to make some waves, not quite really finding anything as Pollo successfully gets that first control of center dark.
Yeah, but the thing is with this map, is the first checkpoint here. It really, anyone can get through it without any issues. It's so early on the map that it might as well not even be there. The main point of contention here is this second checkpoint heading to the third checkpoint, where a lot of the fighting this game is going to revolve around to, and how well these teams can fight against each other. There's special getting thrown left and right to try and maintain control, try to maintain the agenda here. But Super Fighting MII Team Supreme does go down a few players, and Pollo is going to be able to get this second checkpoint without too many issues here if they can hold on to their butts, especially with the bug bubbler being used out there.
I saw that one player getting nuked right outside the bubble, and I felt that in my soul. But again, it doesn't stop Pollo's momentum as they are able to keep moving forward. But that may just be to an end soon, losing 2-3 players here. But Thaco's still able to hold the ground. You know, if you're going to be named Pollo and you're going to have tacos on your team, you better be eating. And I'm going to see that here in just a second.
Yeah, I mean, they did a good job out repelling some of that that counter push from Super Fighting MII Team Supreme here. So now they're back in the driving seat once again, and more importantly, they don't have to go through those two checkpoints that they already cleared through. And just like that, they're already getting to the point where they can extend their lead even further using the big bubbler. Unfortunately, though, the network does not allow that as they were shut down from within the bubble. But another bubble was used. They're getting away with this third checkpoint, and it's going to be a bit of a trouble for them to try and recover their Pollo, slowly losing players bit by bit, getting collapsed on, and Super Fighting MII Team Supreme is going to be able to recover this at the very least and try and push these back to mid.
I think for the first time in an entire half of the match, Pollo's push is pretty much over here. Super Fighting MII Team finally seeing an opening of their own. 3 players off of Pollo all over again. All that's left is to finally get some points on that checkpoint. Love seeing those specials ready. Love seeing that cooler ready to go here. I feel like we're going to start seeing waves here in just a second. Again, just waiting for that tower to get through the checkpoint. And I love how these players have just taken their time. Okay, we're going to take off center. And now our specials are going to go say hi.
Now holding the Booyah Bomb for the right time to try and get the maximum amount of time to push that tower through the second checkpoint, using the Inkzooka to clear space so they can try and contest this checkpoint with even less issues here. The Pollo is starting to get clumped up here, starting to lose some ground, but they're not wanting to let this go just yet. The hammer was thrown to try and clear the tower, and it did buy them some time now, and 2 players down from MII Team means that the Pollo is able to recover this and prevent them from pushing past this second tower, as this tower moves back to mid at the very least and we return back to neutral.
Yeah, very much so. Specials come out once more there, seeing that Tsuka, I think, from Goji here, not really finding much, if anything, there, and going down yourself. What an unfortunate use of special. But Pollo still manages to get things going here, quickly returning back to the spot that they are. Dude, where are you going? You're just able to pop. I hate Blaster, Dark. Did I mention that?
I mean, as a Blaster player myself, you know, it's part of the course from what I'm used to seeing here. Using that Blaster just to be annoying under the ledges, around the corner, and just like that, MII Team is losing momentum. They're losing the power. They're pressing. They had through that third checkpoint. No one's going to be there to contest them in time. And Pollo was just able to cruise past to victory at the very end.
Very, very good stuff, if you do ask me. Pollo had a very dominant match during this game, right? I don't know if Undertow Tower was just their thing or if something went wrong during the last game, because, you know, you'd think MII Team would be the one to have the advantage going to the next game just based off that score, but no, Pollo's here to show something otherwise.
Yeah, it's a wonder as to what exactly happened and what unfolded on that first match here. We won't ever really know anymore at this point, so we gotta take what we've seen from the second game, try and figure out, fill in some of the spaces from that first game, and move on over to the third game here to see exactly what the end result might be, because Zone Tigerfish Market, it's a bit of a neutral map. There is some trouble areas, specifically whenever you're pushed up to your side of the map and you can get in a potential lockout. If you don't play your cards right, then it can be very devastating in a situation like that, especially with something like a blaster around. But it's not necessarily as bad as something like Shipshape Cargo Company.
Yeah, Hagglefish is our baby. That is like everyone. Like, okay, it's not loved as Macomart, but it is like, it's the OG, you know, it's been here since the start. We love her. I love her, but obviously I'm a Charger player, so why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't the anchor love Hagglefish Market? But again, on this map, I'm expecting those 30-second paints on the zone because God knows this map calls for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a very fun game to watch as well, because if I remember from the last game, both teams also had a pencil, so it's really just going to be both teams just constantly painting over one another with the pencils, and I think actually a lot of this might boil down to how some of the frontliners want to try and play and break through the line from the enemy team, because you do have that constant paint output from the pencils to rely back on, so it's going to be up to those frontliners to try and push and make something else happen. But something I'm just realizing now as I'm like thinking about the game is that I don't think we saw Aura from that last game.
I don't think so, but before we actually go forward with that, I want to also mention the minis if it comes out again here on the side of Boyo, because that is also such a big thing for paint, and yep, it is coming out. So I feel like there's a lot of paint advantage on the side of Boyo if they can get themselves in, and especially if the mini and the pen are on board, I don't think there's going to be a lot of flipping happening.
Yeah, no, and then when he gets that bubble on the zone, they can just run away with a lot of points. And out the gate, they're able to at least get a few points on the board without any contest there, as Mean Team is going to be looking to try and see exactly how they want to take an approach to Pollo here. But it looks like they're just going to give up some space, get to a Caterpillar ready to go on the approach here. But no, they get shut down immediately. The pencil at the 10 and the Stamper going down means that Pollo has a very good opening here to try and lock out this game potentially.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Reckless plays there from MII Team. It definitely had its consequence. Boyo able to take the zone in their favor, already almost halfway through the points, but of course, some bit of paint contention once the 10 and the pencil enter the field here. But Sky doing a great job taking those chips, helping out. Nearly, I don't know how Goji lived that. You should have been dead. God knows how long ago, but that is going to be the zone flipping.
Yeah, the zone does get flipped, giving a small amount of penalty points to Pollo here, but MII Team can't seem to hold it for much of anything as the zone's back in Pollo's favor. They have Tactical online. They're looking to especially go on the aggressive here, on the offensive here, to try and keep MII Team out of mid, try to keep them out and away from the zone so they can extend their lead as far forward as they can. Pick after pick after pick. Super MII Team Fighting Supreme is not able to keep up with this momentum, with this aggression from Pollo.
Yeah, very much so here. And no penalty points on the board once more here. ATP on the left side trying to find some sort of opening, not quite finding it, but those whales from Trey may just be what they need to get themselves on the board. Not finding any picks just yet, but that Booyah Bomb could be the answer they want. Oh, so much paint from Trey here on that Gal, but it's not enough between a mini. But that's it. Wait, just the pen.
Yeah. That's it. They're able to flip that fight. Boyo now pushed back to their side of the spawn, and importantly, they have a Super MII Team Fighting Supreme. That Gal has Aura off, if I'm right with what I just saw, so they can absolutely try and leverage that as best they can to keep the momentum going, keep their aggression going, and just hold forward and keep their streak going. But I don't know if they can keep it up in time, as Boyo seems to take a slow and steady approach, waiting for the specials, waiting for the right time to strike. They do have ample amount of time here, but with only 48 ticks remaining on the zone, they gotta act fast soon before they lose the lead.
Yeah, and I want to put your attention upward, as Boyo does have pretty much all their specials active, except the cooler here. Hammer does go out, not quite really finding anything they want, going down in the process. Still, Zimmy and Blaster have their specials, but with the lead swapping, and there's an air of desperation, Dark. It's just a Blaster! This doesn't look good. I think this is going to be it for Boyo.
Yeah, with the Blaster being the last player standing, there wasn't much of anything they could have done at that moment. Oh, but the pencil, can you imagine the flip that could have been if the pencil was able to secure the zone? But no, unfortunately for Pollo, with the Blaster last standing, there wasn't much they could have done anyways at that point. Maybe the fight at the end could have been flipped there if the Blaster got a pick or two and the pencil was able to at least keep the zone consistent long enough for the remainder of their team to come in. But that's a lot of coulda, woulda, shoulda talk right there.